really my pleasure this morning to introduce you to the other half of the Pinky Swear, Mitch's dad, our founder, Steve Chepokas.
Well, so I made a mistake. I hung out with Zach in the back room and bawled like a fat baby. As I look around this room, I know all of you are between 21 and 23, am I correct? Pretty much. Who's over 23? Just raise your hand. Okay, well, I know you. Pete, really? Zach's dad back there. Who's under 21? Okay, so a lot of you. So my son Mitch died April 11th, 2003. So he was 9.5 years old when he passed. So today he would be 22, going on 23. And his 23rd birthday is July 30th. So, you know, those of you've probably seen me mingling around since yesterday, probably going, God, who's the crabby guy? I'm not crabby. I'm just, when I go to things like this, especially with Love Your Melon, because you may all think you have a little clue on how much this relationship means to Pinky Swear, but you don't have a clue. Love Your Melon and Pinky Swear is a perfect marriage made in heaven by the Lord, Jesus Christ. And we are so thankful for this relationship because my son would be one of you sitting in this crowd right now because he had a giving heart. He was philanthropic at a very young age. He's the one who told me he wanted to drain his bank account and take the $100 bills and give them to all these kids. And I can remember looking at him in the elevator going, dude, are you nuts? I'm busy. I mean, I have a company. I have 1,500 employees. I've got a life. He goes, Dad, you'll figure it out. And this has been my passion. You know, a lot of people in life you meet, your grandparents, mom, dad, you know, everybody it seems as life goes on, you get older, you start, you know, you get married, you have kids. We find a passion. For some people it's golf, for some people it's hunting, for some people it's fishing, some people it's, you know, volunteering. Mine has been and always will be until the day I die, helping cancer kids and their families. We were lucky, we were blessed. We were able to make our monthly obligations and I was able to take some time off. We were able to lock down as a family and my son had different ideas. My son wanted to continue to help others and touch lives and we formed formerly the Miracles of Mitch Foundation. And my son actually signed the papers in my attorney's office on the 49th floor of the IDS Tower downtown Minneapolis with his cat scratch on it from his wheelchair. Mitch had, Dr. Siegel talked about osteosarcoma. My son had the worst form of osteosarcoma bone cancer known to modern medicine today. Typically, sarcomas are in, you know, localized places in your body. My son had it from the bottom of his feet to the top of his head. His tumors were literally popping out, head to toe. And it got to his spine. He was in a wheelchair as a paraplegic within 3 months. And he never cared, never cared. Always had big smiles. Here the kid has bone cancer and he's twirling on 2 wheels in a wheelchair. I mean, talk about giving me a heart attack. And I have had a couple of those since we started the foundation. I'm happy to be here. I honestly didn't think I would be here. I had a triple bypass open heart surgery 12 and a half weeks ago. And I had a 50-50 chance of living because I had what's called the widowmaker. I flatlined in surgery twice, was electrically brought back to life. So God has me here on this earth. So guess what? We're going to change the world together because I'm back. I'm 63 pounds lighter, and I'm ready to kick some ass. So, I got to hurry up, otherwise I'm going to get the... One thing I want to do with all of you right now is I want to do with you what I did with my son, and I've done this at every rally, every event, and I've done a lot in 13 years, ladies and gentlemen. But I want everybody to do a pinky swear. Everybody. I want every pinky touching in this joint. I see the bartenders just went in the back room. Get back out here. Really? All right. Audio guys, we're all doing pinky swears. Yeah, all right, pinky swear, here we go. So let's make a pinky swear to continue to help these kids around the globe, and let's kick some butt, all right? I love you all. Thank you for what you're doing. Email me anytime you want. Call me anytime you want. I'll answer any questions. God bless you all. Thank you. Here's Brian Nelson.
One of the hardest things I have to do is to follow Steve Chepokas in a presentation. I'm going to plan to put him at the end from now on because it makes my job a little easier. So we're going to talk a little bit about what does that mean? What does that pinky swear mean? What does the work that you're doing in selling hats and making these connections do to help families all across the country? We have some tremendous partners. Our top 20 partners, 1 through 10, is Love Your Melon, of course. They're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These guys have been great. They've helped us launch a variety of different things that we couldn't do without their help. We're thrilled with that. We have Hy-Vee, YoPlay, Northwestern Mutual, and on and on. The list goes on and on. We're pleased today to announce a new partnership that you'll be seeing. The first place this has been announced anywhere with anybody, and that's with Wiley Wallaby Licorice. All right? If you haven't seen this or haven't had it, you're in for a treat. We've got a 10-ounce bag for all of you, all right? Plus, we've got sample bags for you to take back and give to all your friends, all right? This is Australian licorice. It is the greatest, best licorice you'll ever have in your life, all right? So you be sure you get your big bag and some small bags to take back home. Part of the proceeds from all the sales of this product are going to help Pinky Swear. Thrilled with that. So what we do is we help kids with cancer and their families with non-medical needs. If I miss anything, Katie, you're responsible for making sure I don't miss anything up here because I can't quite see it. Okay, so every 45 minutes, another child is diagnosed with cancer. So in the time we've been sitting here, another family's gotten that bad spin of the dial that their child is sick and their world has been turned upside down. We're here to help that a little bit. The incidence of childhood cancer has grown 29% in the last 20 years. Amazing growth, not a good thing. The average age of a child being diagnosed with cancer is 6. The average length of treatment is 2 years. The average family spends 25% of their disposable income on non-medical needs. So imagine going home to your parents and saying, Mom, Dad, we're taking 25% of your paycheck, cutting it off, and we're going to go and take care of little Johnny who's sick. That 25%, based on the number of cancer patients in the country, represents a $400 million financial impact on those families that we're working with. And 1 out of 11 families with a child diagnosed with cancer will file for bankruptcy. It's an unfair spin for these families. So what do? We provide rent and mortgage payments for these families so they can stay in their homes. We'll cover car payments, rent or car repairs, whatever it takes so that they can get to and from treatment. Provide groceries, food, so that they can have something on the table. Sometimes they can't afford to put food on the table because they're spending their money on medical and non-medical expenses. We'll do utilities, tax payments. We've done everything from replacing carpet, mold remediation because a sick child can't go home into a moldy home. And we've paid for headstones for families that couldn't afford that as part of their final passing of their child. We also do some work with providing quality time for these families so they can spend time together and not necessarily focus on the child that's sick and on the treatment, but on loving each other. Oftentimes the siblings get lost, the family unit gets lost because there's so much focus on the single child being treated. And we also do food pantries in some of the hospitals we partner with so that families can spend time at the bedside with their sick child rather than having to run down to the cafeteria. Our average grant is $750 that we provide. We serve more than 500 families a year. Our goal this year is 2,500 families, partly through the support of Love Your Melon. A year ago, we'd help families in about 10 or 12 states. Because of the work with Love Your Melon, we've helped families in 36 states in 2015. We hope to be in all 50 states by the end of this year. 70% of our support goes directly to help those patient families. We've raised over $11 million since that first pinky swear that Steve did. We hope that pretty soon we're doing that on an annual basis. For those of you this is a social media crowd, check us out at pinkyswear.org. We've got more videos, more stories that you'll want to share, you'll want to see. We also have Snapchat, whatever that is. We have Instagram, which I thought was like a snack cracker until somebody told me what that was. We also have Facebook, somewhat familiar because that's more my vintage from what I understand. Nobody uses Facebook in this room, do they? Oh, my kids tell me that I'm old if I'm doing that, so. And we have Twitter, all right? So that's just not bad sound. So good stuff. Our goal this year is to, not this year, but our goal is we put a stake in the ground in 2015 to try and reach every child with cancer in the country. It's a big, hairy, audacious goal. You have to put that flag in the sand somewhere and say, hey, what do we want to do? How do we make a difference with these families? I know this is a growth opportunity, a learning opportunity for all of you. You're all in college. And so give you a couple things that you can build on your career, things that from my career that have helped me to look and say, how do I make a difference and how do I change the world that I live in? You might go, what's a trim tab? Now, a trim tab, if you think about it, you're all going to work with some size of groups, different size groups from 10, 15, 20 to 100 people that you need to change the way that they think or to drive them in a specific direction. The trim tab theory is the idea that on a giant ship, the rudder is huge, probably as big as this room. And they can't move that. It's hard to move that against the force of the water. So there's a trim tab that sits up on top of the rudder that moves it. That moves first, creates a wake, which allows the rest of the rudder to move. And how does that apply to people? A group of 20 people, if you can get 3 to 4 people who move that direction, they will be your trim tab. So keep that in mind as you start to work with groups, because you're all working in groups in your different classes and different internships that you're involved in. Where's my trim tab people? I do it with my board of directors. I've got 20 people. If I can get 3 people that move in a direction, pretty sure I can get the rest of the group to go. A starfish, orange and blue, of course, not the easiest thing to find on the internet, is the right colored starfish. I want to tell you a story about making a difference. There was an old man on the sea, on the ocean, on the beach, standing there doing some work. A young man came up to him. He was walking down the beach looking, and the old man was throwing starfish out into the ocean. And the young man walked up to him and said, "What are you doing?" He says, "These starfish will die if I don't throw them back into the ocean." And the young man looked at him and said, "Man, that's crazy." He said, "There's millions of starfish out here. Millions. What difference can you make?" And he picked up the next one. The old man picked up the next one, threw it out, said, "I'm making a difference in that one." One by one, every hat you sell, every connection you make, every story you tell about Cure Search or Pinky Swear is making a difference in the life of a child with cancer. Making a difference in those families' lives that have this horrible disease thrust upon them. So with that, thank you. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for all you've done, and thank you for all you're going to do. Steve and I are going to be here for a while. If you have any questions, ask me if you have smart remarks. You can talk to Steve about that. He handles those for us. But we're thrilled about the partnership. We're thrilled that you're here. Thank you for your time and your attention. I know there's other things you'd rather be doing today, but I appreciate paying attention to us and what we've got going on and look forward to working with all of you. Thank you.